frequently we are interested to know how one variable, say y, responds to the change of another variable, say x. In terms of demand function, we will be interested in knowing how the quantity of demand respond to the price change. We can ask two questions here. First question, we can ask, if price decrease or increase by $1 per unit, how many units of demand or quantity of demand will it change? How many units of quantity will the demand let me write it. Will the demand change or increase actually? The second question we can ask, if price decrease by 1%, how many percent of quantity will the demand increase? Okay, let's compare these two questions. They are very similar, right? They actually both talk about how sensitive is quantity responding to the price change. The difference here is that in the question A, there's a unit associated, decrease. In question 1, there's a unit in it. Price decreases by $1 per unit. And how many units of quantity increase? In contrast, question 2 is kind of unitless. So it says that price decreased by 1%. How many percent will quantity of demand increase? And we call the second one price elasticity of demand. We denote this by epsilon, which is equal to, as the question says, percentage change of quantity divided by quantity over change of price divided by price. So change of quantity. Let's look at an example here. Suppose price quantity, we have data like this. Initially price is $8. So this is suppose this is demand for ice creams. Initially the price of ice creams $6, and the quantity of demand is 100. Okay, so that's the beginning quantity, beginning price. If price decrease by $2, say $4 now, the quantity of demand increased by 20. So now the demand is 120. unit. So in terms of elasticity, we can calculate from the data here. So first, change of price, percentage change of price, percentage change of price. So it's just change of price divided by price, or change of price divided by beginning price. So change of price is ending price is $4, beginning price $6, beginning price $6. So is negative 2 over 6. So it's negative 1 over 3. And because we know that it's negative, so we know we can kind of ignore these negative signs because we know it should be negative by lower demand. Okay, that's percentage change of price. Percentage change of quantity is change of quantity over quantity, right? Change of quantity is ending quantity, so it's 120 minus beginning quantity divided by beginning quantity. So it's 20 divided by 100, so it's 1 over 5. Okay. Then price elasticity is percentage change of quantity over percentage change of price. Percentage change of quantity is 1 over 5. Percentage change of price is 1 over 3. Multiply both top and down by 3. So 3 cancels out here. So we get 3 over 5, or it's 0.6. So you see that I ignore the negative signs because it's negative, okay, by low demand. Alright, so the price elasticity of demand is 0.6. Okay, then the question is, what does 0.6 means? 0.6 means that, okay, if price decrease by 1%, quantity demand increase by 0.6%. And you should know that this is smaller than 1%. So we call this situation that here the demand is inelastic because 1% decrease in price results in less than 1% increase in quantity. Okay, so let's price elasticity of demand. Okay, let me move up a little bit and I will erase all this. In calculating the percentage change of quantity or percentage change of price, sometimes we use what is called midpoint measures. So now percentage change of quantity, percentage change of quantity is still ending quantity 120 minus beginning quantity 100. That's a change of quantity. But unlike as before, so now we divided, not divided by beginning quantity, but divided by the midpoint of ending quantity and the beginning quantity. So midpoint of ending quantity 120 plus beginning quantity is 100 divided by 2. So that's the midpoint. That's and by the way, that's why it's called midpoint methods. So it's 20 divided by 220 divide 120 plus 100, you get 220 divided by 2. So it's 20 divided by 110. So it's 2 over 11. Similarly, for the percentage change of price, again, use the midpoint method. So it's ending price 4 minus beginning price 6 divided not by the beginning price, but by the midpoint between beginning price and ending price. So it's 4 plus 6 divided by 2. So it's negative 2 divided by 10 divided by 2 is 5. So now use this midpoint method, we can calculate the price elasticity of demand to be to be 2 over 11 divided by 2 over 5. So, and again, I'm ignoring the negative signs. So it's 2 cancel out, multiply both 5, multiply 5 on both top and bottoms. This cancel out. So it's 5 over 11. And that's the midpoint method. Let me call it M here. And previously we calculate without using the midpoint method is 3 over 5. And we can see that there's a difference. So you need to wondering why we bother to use this midpoint method. The reason of using this midpoint method is that in the cases like this, in the discrete cases, okay, is somewhat, in a sense, loosely speaking, is somewhat more accurate, in a sense, okay. And the interpretation of this number is exactly the same. It says that, okay, if price increase by 1%, and the quantity demand will decrease by 5 over 11%, okay. So it's still less than 1%. So demand is inelastic here. Okay, let's price elasticity of demand. Okay, let me go back to question 1. If price increases by so when we are asking the questions like the question 1 here, essentially for our data it says that if price decrease by $2 per ice creams, the demand will increase by 20 ice creams, 20 cones of ice creams. So this actually, when we talk about like question 1, we are actually talking about the slope of demand function. So I hope you are aware of this point. The good sense about question 2, asking how the sensitivity of quantity responding to the price change in the way of question 2. The good sense about this is unit 3, and we call this price elasticity of demand. Okay, let me give you some sort of tasks that you can calculate price elasticity of demand by yourself. For example, say initially the beginning price is say suppose this is demand for beers. The beginning price of $10, then the demand for beers is 100. So if price increase to $12, demand decrease from 19 or from 100 to 90. So what's the price elasticity of demand? Using both the non-midpoint methods and the midpoint method. In addition to price elasticity of demand, we can have other types of elasticity of demand. For example, like income elasticity of demand, cross price elasticity of demand, price elasticity of supply. So let's look at the price elasticity of supply. So this is supply for coffee, non-black, let's say. If price of coffee is $4, then the market supply of is 150, suppose. If price increase to $6, then market supply of coffee is 200. So now you can use exactly the same way we have showed here to calculate the price elasticity supply using both the non-midpoint methods and the midpoint methods.